All right, Crossroad Cues, friends, fans, and followers, I've got a really special one here. I'm going to be brief. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. There's a lot of information at the top of the post, so I'll just be reviewing a little bit of that with you. And then, of course, you can go to crossroadcues.com, crossroadcues.com. So first of all, I want to thank our good friend out in Las Vegas, Rick Geschrey from Chicago originally, master level cue maker, okay? You can see that a mile away, but this cue looks 10 times better in person. This is a one-of-a-kind cue. Now, Rick did kind of give a little bit of a nod towards his good friend and mentor, Stu Mortson's Orca cue, which is his world-famous cue that he kept in his personal collection because he liked it so much. So there's a little bit of a story behind this, but I want to tell you, these are 12 points that have spears at the top of them. These inlays, and there's 142 total, by the way, 142 inlays. The inlays and the points are all made out of holly. So the entire cue is literally wood. You've got Purple Heart, and then you've got Ebony, and then you've got Ebony on the butt sleeve, again with holly. 142 total intricate inlays. Now here's the really interesting part about this. Most cue makers would not even dare attempt this feat. And the reason for it is because in order to be able to get the holly inlaid into this without the Purple Heart dust or the ebony dust going in, it was an extremely tedious process. Rick and I spoke about it. It took him a long time, and he's really proud of the fact that there's not a single speck anywhere near that pure white looking holly. So you've got an embossed gator leather wrap on this, 3/8 by 14 modified pin. That's a 3/8 by modified pin. What Rick does that's really interesting is this, okay, because his cues are not just wallflowers, okay? This cue was made to perform. He uses a Garolite LE insert. Now what that does is it basically guarantees that the threads are not going to degrade, okay? So again, uses a Garolite LE insert. Takes that extra step, extra process that pretty much guarantees that the threads will not degrade. That's a similar similar pin to what Mike Bender uses, by the way. So if you've ever had one of his cues, you know that big pin by his master level machining is all done by design. And it's the same thing here with Rick's cue, okay? So the other thing about it is this. This cue has a laminated maple core all the way through. And that's done by design as well. Rick Rick guarantees that his cues will not warp or move. He gives you a lifetime guarantee because he uses a laminated maple core. So not only do you get a good guarantee with that, and you know that it's well constructed, Rick, and I also, because I've had experience with these, believe that when you use a laminated maple core, okay, so there's no A-joint connection in any of his cues, and that's usually where the cue will move or warp. There's no A-joint connection because it's laminated all the way through. So what you're feeling the true hit of the wood all the way from the joint through the butt, all the way through, okay? So a lot of cue makers, they'll use different species of wood. With one of these Esoteric cues, no matter what species combination, which in this case, obviously, you've got Purple Heart, you got Ebony, then you got the holly, what you're going to feel the hit of the maple, and that's the best hit that you can feel, in my humble opinion. Okay, so there's a little bit of a story behind this cue, and I want to move quick here because I want to have enough time for the video to load. But the original Orca cue was a depiction of a scene of the Farallon Islands where the great white sharks will gather and they'll hunt on feeder fish, but behind the great white sharks, lurking in the shadows, of course, are the orcas that hunt the great whites. So notice the sideways S's, which obviously there are a very good amount of those in this cue. At all the positions of the ringwork, those are a depiction that represent the feeder fish. And then, of course, you could see that the holly inlays represent the teeth of the sharks and the whales. So really cool backstory with this cue. This was designed and has stayed in Rick's personal collection for about 5 years, and he's decided to make it available to the public, okay? This cue was originally between $5,000 and $6,000. We are offering it for only $39.50. So if you're interested in getting a one-of-a-kind cue by a master-level cue maker, you are looking at it, and I guarantee that it won't last, okay? This is a slimmer handled cue. That's how Rick's cues are all slimmer handled. And he creates them to be forward weighted, okay? He believes that the forward weighted cue will help you to effortlessly move the cue ball, and I will agree with him 100%. If you want more information about this one-of-a-kind esoteric cue by Mr. Rick Geschrey, you can call me at the number at the top of the post. Send me an email, send me a message. Don't wait a long time. You won't see this one around here for very long. Thanks for taking a look. You can check us out at crossroadcues.com. That's crossroadcues.com. I want to show you guys one thing here real quick, and it does hit phenomenal. I didn't chalk the shafts, but I want to show you. I made the statement that it was mesmerizing when you see it roll. Watch this. The other thing is Rick's cues are guaranteed not to warp or roll because of his construction. Look at how perfect the cue rolls. It's like mesmerizing the way those inlays work. Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful is that? It's a perfectly straight cue. The only thing this one needs is a new home. We do offer the flexible payment plans. We accept clean, non-production trades. And we'll give you a money-back guarantee on this one. Thanks for taking a look. Crossroad Cues.